So in this world, there has never been such a thing as you get this number and suddenly a villain appears, or suddenly there's a car accident, or suddenly you need surgery. These things simply don't happen. Dear friends, you need to truly apply this in your life, and when you genuinely try to verify it in your own and your family's lives, you will find that this kind of information has no value whatsoever. Lies will collapse on their own without being attacked. We need to understand that justice is not just something we talk about, it truly happens in our daily lives. Are there any other questions? Teacher, does 1-3 represent wealth? This is also a very common question that has come up again and again over the years. It's not the first time it's appeared in our live stream. Many friends have already asked about it. This is a major misunderstanding that people often have about numbers. Just as I mentioned earlier, there is no set of numbers in this world that will cause you to lose money. Nor is there a set of numbers that will bring you sudden wealth from the sky. Such things have never existed. Not in the past, not now, and certainly not in the future. Numbers phenomena are simply a reflection of the information in our lives. The kind of money a person can earn and how they make money depends on their abilities, their mindset, and every action they take in the present. What the 1-3 number combination reveals is the outcome of their actions, the results they achieve, where their performance comes from, and what their goals are. Does he have long-term goals or short-term goals? When he does things, does he hope for more stability and longevity, or does he prefer things to be faster and more short-lived? When he takes action, does he aim for higher value, or does he prefer to do simple things that everyone else does, just going with the flow? This is the kind of information about a person's values that the 1-3 number combination reveals, as well as information about the results and achievements that person attains. The 1-3 number combination has never represented wealth falling from the sky. You can't say that after someone uses the 1-3 combination, money will just come to them while they lie around. There's no such thing in this world, dear friends. Please wake up. Hey, things like that simply don't exist in this world. There's no number combination that will let you easily make money while lying down. The money you earn while lying down is actually the hardest to come by. Dear everyone, as for the characteristics of the 1-3 number combination, come and learn about them in the course. Because the 1-3 combination involves rather complex information. But what I want to tell you is that we can understand it as the goals and outcomes in our lives. The key is, what is this outcome like? And can you maintain and safeguard this outcome even better? For example, when someone does something and through their efforts succeeds, that success is only of temporary significance, just a short-term goal. After achieving this goal, the question is whether they will continue to move forward, keep striving, or whether they have the ability to hold on to that achievement. Let me give you an example. There's a saying among us Chinese, wealth does not last beyond 3 generations. The wealth accumulated by our ancestors or parents might all be lost by the 3rd generation. If you've seen Mr. Lu Hua's To Live, you'll know that starting from the father's generation, the family keeps losing money. First raising cattle at home, then geese, and by his generation, chickens. With each generation, the losses continue. So, in fact, whether you can truly manage this wealth, your ability to manage and preserve your achievements and your business is even more important, much more important. All of this is reflected in the information we see in numbers phenomena. Therefore, we cannot directly interpret the number combination 1-3 as wealth, but we can understand it as representing every outcome in our lives. The result of anything, we can interpret it this way. This is its core meaning. Of course, as I mentioned before, the general understanding of numbers phenomena in the market is basically zero. That's why I need to teach the fundamentals. In CosmoMK, what we cover as the basics is actually what the market calls advanced courses. Because in my courses, the content you learn is something you can't buy with real money. It's knowledge about our lives, and I teach it to you in a very genuine and scientific way, delivering it right into your hands, feeding it to you directly. There's nothing mysterious or deliberately obscure about it. There's no such thing as using a certain number combination to gain wealth or another to attract troublemakers. Such things simply don't exist. Dear friends, we must keep our eyes open and face every aspect of life honestly. Anything that doesn't align with common sense and science in our daily lives is not real. It's simply not real. Numbers, phenomena, are real and genuine information in our lives. So if you're learning things like the 17 sequence represents villains, the 18 sequence represents some kind of goods risk, the 12 sequence stands for death, or the 16 sequence means migraines, and people with the 16 sequence all have migraines. If what you're learning is this kind of knowledge, I want to tell you that such knowledge has no practical value in your life because it's not real. It might give you a momentary thrill, make you think, wow, this is so interesting, or just satisfy your curiosity or desire for novelty for a while. But if you want to actually apply it in your daily life, if you want to truly use it in your life, when you genuinely want to validate your own life and that of your family, you'll realize that this kind of information has no value at all. Lies collapse on their own without being attacked. We need to understand that justice isn't just something we talk about, it truly happens in our lives. Everything you do, every event that happens in your life is built up bit by bit, accumulated over time. The result we have right now, like this teapot in front of me, it can't pour out any water. There's no water left inside. What's the reason for that? What's the cause? Is it because this teapot has been cursed? Is it because this teapot represents some kind of accident, like the water just disappeared by accident, or wealth just vanished by accident, or the people in our lives suddenly turned into villains by accident? No, it's not that. The water was just drunk by me a moment ago. It's a very simple principle. So in this world, there's no such thing as just because you have this number, villains suddenly appear by accident, or a car accident happens by accident, or you suddenly need surgery by accident. That simply doesn't happen, dear friends. It just doesn't. How could things like that exist? Use your dear mind to think about it. There aren't that many accidents in this world. Every single thing is shaped and formed bit by bit. Why are some license plate numbers used by the so-called incarnation masters and martial arts masters? Call it an accident, because saying it's an accident is profitable. If your license plate has an accident, hurry and buy something from me to save your life, change your fate. Buy a license plate from me, buy a talisman from me. It's all to make money off you, my friends. You need to understand what a license plate number really is. Why do traffic accidents happen? Let me give you an example. License plates with the 18 number combination. If someone has a license plate with this sequence, what happens when they drive every day? They become absent-minded. Alright, in my courses, I often tell everyone that this kind of number sequence makes people especially prone to zoning out. Their thoughts are scattered, they often can't concentrate, and they think about a lot of things, overthinking and worrying with their minds full of thoughts. It's no different when they're driving. They're always thinking about something else, answering calls, looking at their phone, listening to the radio, watching the in-car TV, all kinds of distractions. They zone out a lot. At the same time, what else is this number sequence prone to? Let me tell you, this kind of number sequence is prone to drunk driving. People with the 18 type number sequence are naturally more likely to drink a bit. They tend to have a habit of drinking. Why is that? Life is too depressing, too stressful. People with the 18 type number sequence think a lot, so their thoughts are especially heavy. There are many things in life they can't figure out or get past, it's exhausting, and there are many things that make them question the meaning of their own life. What should I do? They drink a little to ease their sorrow. Raise a glass and sing. How many moments does life really have? How can one relieve their worries? Only Ducang's wine can do it. But not everyone with the 18 type number sequence will drive under the influence. It's just that most of them are prone to this trait. Yes, they tend to have this characteristic. Driving under the influence is just one of the reasons. Besides that, as we mentioned, people with this number sequence are easily distracted and their thoughts are hard to focus. In situations like this, especially at complex intersections or in complicated traffic conditions, accidents are particularly likely to happen. So, is it because this number sequence represents accidents? Not really. For example, people with the 12 type number sequence drive very fast, are impulsive, highly competitive, enjoy excitement, and like to race cars. If you race all the time, every day, year after year, isn't your chance of getting into an accident higher than others? That's the logic behind it. Numbers phenomena simply reflects the different outcomes in life that result from each of our unique ways of thinking and behaving. So when you understand this principle, you'll see that it's not about a license plate being cursed or unlucky, making it more prone to accidents. There's no such thing. The more you study numbers phenomena, the more you'll realize that you're using a scientific approach to verify every piece of information in your life and to face every challenge and event in your life scientifically. This is the allure of numbers phenomena. This is the value it brings to each of our lives. And that's why the teacher often says this is a required course in our lives, a subject that everyone needs to learn. The study of numbers phenomena really needs to be popularized, and I will also use live broadcasts and media programs to talk with everyone more, to explain the role of numbers phenomena in our lives. You really need to study it systematically. Because when number sequences are connected together, when they form a combination, the meaning they present is completely different. Moreover, the basic understanding of numbers phenomena in the market, the scientific understanding, is basically at zero, absolutely none at all. Therefore, we all need to work together to spread this field of study so that more people can understand that we should look at numbers phenomena in our lives from a scientific perspective. Thank you, everyone. So let's leave this topic here for now. Let me see if anyone has any other questions.